Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah. Koholoim la Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachachachodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and that by the Spirit taught us His beautiful truth. Just want to say water to all the H.I.M and H.I.M that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawach. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And just a quick lesson on, these damn heathen and the reason why they have to be taken out of power and have to be ruled over. They need to be ruled over because they don't, even if they were to be given the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they would still break them. And that's the reason why, in the kingdom, we're going to be on their damn head, you know what I'm saying, ruling over them with that rod of iron. Because these people are heathen and the Lord told us to not be like these other nations. And being like the other nations comes with a number of things, you know what I'm saying? Eating abominable foods is what I want to go into as far as this goes. Definitely worshiping their gods. That's off as hell. You can clearly see what comes with worshiping their idols or their gods. It's disorder, you know what I'm saying? Especially for us, because again, the Lord, he gave us the law, statutes, and commandments to abide by and to move through the planet with, and to actually teach them to these other nations, which is going to come in the future, but this wisdom and this knowledge, this understanding was given to us, for a reason, to not be like the other nations, because when the Lord told us to not do something, the other nations were actually doing it. So this is an article going into, because I had to look it up. I'm just like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? I like to fact check and go up into the internet and see, okay, what, like, is this a real story? Because you kind of be looking at some of this shit like this can't be real, but at the same time too, we get it. So let's go up into one of them. Let's go into Newsweek. So it says North Koreans advised to eat dog meat soup during heat wave. Crazy work, bro. So it's supposedly from what they're saying, a delicacy, so to speak, where with the heat exhaustion, it helps you with heat exhaustion by eating this dog soup, which is crazy work, bro. Okay, but it says North Koreans are being advised to eat dog meat soup to fortify their health as a heat wave grips Northeast Asia. And that heat wave is all over the place, man. I just seen Japan, Tokyo rather, their zoo. I think they had about 3 or 4, probably even more now, 3 or 4 lions that died from heat exhaustion, you know what I'm saying? And they were talking about the other lions were, being treated because it's, you just got them stuck there in these hot ass spots when they should be in their own, habitat, man. The beloved brother Allah, he goes into that a lot. He was talking about when he went to the Toledo Zoo and they had the polar bears in these hot ass enclosures, man. You know what I'm saying? Polar bears are supposed to be in a cold place, man. But this man Esau, he rounds up all the animals and puts them in what he calls zoos, and he has these damn animals all depressed, man. Anyway, let's move on. It says authorities across the region have issued heat warnings in recent weeks and urged residents to avoid unnecessary outdoor activity as the prolonged high temperatures threaten to strain public health systems, local power grids, and agriculture. Now, why is this going? This is going on everywhere. See? So, because the Lord is visiting this place, man. He's judging this planet for the wickedness of this place, You got damn wildfires going on everywhere. You got earthquakes going on everywhere. And all different types of, weird-ass weather. So it says, the road dog, Sinmun, the official newspaper of North Korea's ruling Workers' Party, on Sunday published a Korean-language interview with the senior doctor. Now, he's a damn doctor at the General Hospital, offering a different sort of advice. Look at the damn dogs. Hey, y'all ass is about to go into a pot. Probably already gone. Protein prescription. Well, okay, there's plenty of things to get protein from that's actually legal as far as the scriptures. It's, beef. I'm sure they got beef over there. Chicken. You can get protein from beans, nuts and things of that nature. Okay, but it says the basic principle of managing health during hot weather is to lower body heat. He said adding that produce like watermelons, grapes, cucumbers, oriental melons are particularly suited for this. Okay, so why don't you just eat that? Because melons are good for the summertime. Shit, I don't know how many damn watermelons I done bought this summer. Not a whole bunch of them, but like as they're in season, I tried to keep one on deck. You know what I'm saying? Because watermelons are good, cucumbers as well. Hey, get the baby, man. Get the baby. What y'all doing, man? Get him, man. Hey, man, y'all get that baby and stay out of the street, man. Slocky, y'all. Yeah, little bitty baby, man. He just started walking. You got him all out in traffic and shit. He walking all by himself. The way these people fly down through here, man. Anyway, Slocky. Shit. For protein, the guy recommended fish. Okay, yeah, you can get protein from fish and red bean porridge, as well as traditional dish known as goji, sweet meat, or dog meat soup. Crazy work, bro. If the body lacks protein, immunity weakens and appetite declines, he said. Dog meat soup has deep roots on the Korean peninsula, though attitudes have diverged sharply between North and South Korea. Known as Basintang in the South, the soup is traditionally associated with the hottest days of the year, when some people believe it restores vitality drained by the summer heat. Crazy. Consumption has declined drastically in South Korea over the past few decades. You know why? Because they're trying to be more American. Because that's an ally of America, and basically they're trying to be some Westerners basically. Okay, it says see, the damn car just blew through there. You know what I'm saying? Well, they got him now, but damn, man, shit, you gotta watch the baby, shit. I told them that when they all moved over here years back. Like, man, yeah, these cars be blowing down through here and shit, man. These people would flip your ass over and keep driving, man. Blowing up the damn side streets and shit, doing 75, 80. Speed limit is only 15. Anyway, though, Salakia. Consumption has declined drastically in South Korea over the past few decades, especially among younger generations, amid growing concerns over animal welfare. In 2024, the country passed legislation banning the breeding, slaughter, distribution, and sale of dogs for human consumption, with a 3-year grace period set to end in February 2027. Right? So they gonna be back on deck. And those Asians, man, when you see them, it's plenty of videos. They go hard about that dog meat. They go hard about it. They're like, well, what's wrong? They really eat that shit like it's just, yeah. Like how people eat chicken here in America, But let me get the law on you're not supposed to eat anything with paws, man, that go on all fours. That's a law that the Lord gave us. But see, you got Jake that live here in America. They'll eat shit like possum. Jake be eating raccoon. Jake be eating squirrel. Jake be eating rabbits and shit. Jake be eating shit that's just as it's pretty much the same. But it's something about a dog to Jake that's just like, I ain't gonna eat that. Well, why not? It's the same type of animal, so to speak, when it comes to what the Lord told us not to eat. Cats and shit. You ain't gonna eat no damn cat or no dog. But Jake will tell you he ain't giving up no motherfucking pork. He ain't giving up he ain't giving up his coon. You go to the South, especially in the deep South, man, them Jakes, I remember my dad used to eat shit like that. Like, man, you even when I was growing up down there, you couldn't pay me to eat none of that shit. Like, y'all niggas crazy. Like, nah, it was just something that didn't sit right with me about that shit as a kid. Like, nah, you ain't about to. I remember my grandmother, she used to get mad as hell about them pig feet and pig ears and shit. She used to put that shit on the plate. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm not eating that shit. You ain't gonna be wasting my food. Like, don't ever put nothing like that on my motherfucking plate. It was something about it. It didn't, food's supposed to go with your senses. It's supposed to look good, it's supposed to smell good, Then, of course, You get to tasting it. It's supposed to taste good. You know, it's supposed to go with your hearing. You know, certain foods got like crunch or, you know, got a certain smack to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I ain't eating that shit. But she used to be pissed. Cause I used to leave that shit like, no, look, man. And then, you know, as kids, you know, parents be trying to, you know, back in the days, they try, well, you gonna sit here until you eat it all. Well, shit, I'm gonna fucking sit here. Be sitting there at the goddamn table all night, nodding and shit, motherfucking head, slobbing at the mom, fell asleep at the damn table because they used to try and do that shit, but it just didn't work. Like, nah, man, I knew someone right about that shit. Anyway, let's get that scripture on pause. I'm just gonna put in pause. Leviticus 11 and 27 is the law. And whatsoever goeth upon his paws among all manner of beasts that go on all fours, those are unclean unto you. Whoso toucheth their carcass shall be unclean unto evening, right? Let me see. See how if it reads differently and amplified. It says also, all animals that walk on their paws, among all kinds of animals that walk on four legs, are unclean to you. Whoever touches their carcass becomes unclean until evening. And the one who picks up their carcasses shall wash his clothes and be unclean until evening. They are unclean to you. Right? And then it goes off into, you know, it gives you, the Lord gave a whole list as far as the dietary law as to what, you know, should be eaten and what we could eat and what we can't eat, man. So you're not even supposed to touch this shit. You motherfuckers eating all manner of shit, man. You know? But that's these nations. This is the reason why they're gonna have to be ruled over. This is why they're gonna need need to get the shit beaten out of them, man. Because they're not gonna have the law, statutes, and commandments written upon their minds and hearts like the Israelites are. They're not gonna, you know, have that. The new covenant is for the children of Israel, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and of course speckled bird. You know, all the people look like the other nations, but this is for the Israelites only. You know, when it comes to the covenant. So when the covenant, the new covenant comes, the law, statutes, and commandments being written on our minds and hearts, we're gonna be A1. We're gonna be, body's gonna be changed and everything. We're gonna be on point. But the rest of these nations, we're gonna have to whip them in shape, man. We're gonna have to whip them in shape because these people are not gonna want to stop eating dogs. So they gave the shit a damn grace period, man. Oh yeah. Okay, so it's going up into the heat that's over in that area. Because, you know, those are like those islands and stuff like that. Yeah, you're running out in the street and the damn car coming, you still ain't looking. Yeah? Anyway. Again, yeah, I didn't want to keep this long. I just, you know. So let's just, let's do this. What was that, let's try this right here. Let's ask the AI. Does Leviticus this one was, that was the 11 and 27. Salakia. Because it doesn't exactly say, you know, consume or eat the dogs. Because you have some of these knuckleheads to be like, oh, well, but it doesn't say you can't eat it. Well, it says don't touch the damn carcass of it. Don't touch it, man. You know, you got to fucking kill the nigga to get him, unless you're going to eat him alive. You know, and even then it's still off. I'm just going to, you can't eat dog. But that goes into a number of animals. There's a lot of animals that walk on all fours. I just named a few. It says, yes, Leviticus 11 and 27 states that animals walking on paws are unclean. which includes dogs, cats, and bears. Verse 42 and other surrounding verses in Leviticus 11 prohibit eating any unclean animals. See that? The text says animals that go on all fours and walk on paws are unclean for you. Touching their dead bodies makes a person unclean until the evening. The broader chapter forbids eating the meat of these unclean animals. And they have a YouTube, somebody I guess might have done a video to it or whatever. The other animals listed as unclean, or unclean in Leviticus 11, okay. How these dietary laws apply today. So we can basically let's ask this. Was this law given to Israelites only? Which we know it was. Well, let's see what they have to say about it. Because you got these fucking Christians, they want to add in all these damn heathen, which these heathen are nasty, man. They're the reason why the Lord said don't sleep with a goddamn animal, which the elder from Chicago, Elder Malcolm, went into that. He had an article where these motherfuckers got bestiality brothels, or basically, you know, like you go to a brothel to buy you some pussy or buy you some box. You can go to a damn animal brothel and go hit a damn animal, man. Go stick your rod in the animal. These people are wicked, bro. So let's see what it says. It says, yes, the specific dietary law in Leviticus 11 were given exclusively to the nation of Israel as part of their covenant with God. The very first verse of the chapter states that God spoke these rules directly to Moses and Aaron to tell the people of Israel. And he told us don't do what the other nations are doing. The reason why he said don't do this is because the other nations were doing it. When he said don't sleep with animals, the other nations were doing it. When he said don't sleep with your mama, the other nations was doing it. You see? And that goes on with all the law. Everything that the Lord told us not to do, the other nations were doing. And everything the Lord told us to do, the other nations were not doing. That's the reason why when we went and started worshiping their gods and their idols and all these other different things, Jake started to go off into those customs and started to do the things of those other nations, and it got us fucked up. That's like Jake, us being in America right now. Us being in America right now. Our people wasn't eating no fucking pork like how they eating pork today. That was shunned upon. Your ass, you wasn't eating no pork, bro. But here in America, you can walk, you'll see Jake in a supermarket, Walmart or wherever, and he'll have his goddamn cart loaded down with pork steak, pork chops, bacon, sausage, you know? And that shit got a smell to it that's just different. It's just different, because when I can be walking by somebody's house and I can smell that they're cooking pork, and that shit it turns my stomach. I can smell it. It's a different smell to it. It's a deathly smell. But Jake was not eating no pork like how they eat pork right now. You got bacon on every goddamn thing. Now I put the ock onto the beef bacon, you know, because I wasn't onto it that long before I let him know. I was like, well, shit, man, I tried this beef bacon. That shit, the beef bacon is slapping. Kind of remind me of thin sliced corned beef in a sense. But that turkey bacon is not bad. You know what I'm saying? You just got to, when it straight comes down to it, you just kind of somewhat, I don't like to really mess with, like say like turkey franks and turkey, just shit that will inflame you because of the shit that Esau be adding to certain shit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with that. But other than that, it's a clean food to basically eat. Other than, this shit that Esau pushing on you with the fucking pork, man. It's just something about Jake not gonna get that goddamn pork up. Like my dad, man, he big on pork. I know every time he come on, I know you don't eat pork, but I'm about to go home and I'm gonna cook. And like, man, this guy, go ahead, Dad. You know what I'm saying? I used to, kind of get into it with him a little bit. But then it just dawned on me like, man, yeah, go ahead, do your thing, man. Go ahead and do your thing. I spoke with my uncles. They ain't giving up that pork, man. They gonna eat that shit until they die. I grew up off. All right, well, just because you grew up off something, that don't mean that, you know, if somebody is telling you something that's unsafe for you, you may not have ever known. Because there's a lot of people that don't know, but you got Jake, they know. They be like, oh yeah, I know, but I gotta have, you know, like, nigga, you ain't gotta have it. Anyway, though, I just wanted to just touch on this real quick. Then they have Noah and the pre-Mosaic dietary rules. That's how you know they had the law back then. A distinction between clean and unclean animals existed during Noah's time for sacrifices, Genesis 7 and 2. It says, however, God did not restrict Noah's diet after the flood. With Noah, I'm willing to bet you Noah wasn't eating no goddamn pork. I bet you that. You know? So, you know, Esau trying to get slick. Genesis 9 and 3 permitted Noah and his descendants to eat every moving thing that lives. No, it wasn't. That's not true. See, this is where Christianity comes in at. It says it says New Testament view on these dietary reactions for Christian believers. Well, you already know the scriptures they're gonna go into on that. That's another lesson too. Because when let's go to matter of fact, let me see. Genesis 9 and 3. Let's just read it, because see, this is how Esau he words that as if, you know, now all of a sudden Noah then came off, you know, out of the flood, and he can now all of a sudden eat a goddamn pig foot. You think that he was eating a damn giraffe? You think he was eating a damn gorillas or whatever? You think he was eating elephants and shit like that? Get the fuck out of here, man. Think he was eating goddamn vultures and flamingos and come on, bro. If the Lord told him what was clean and unclean before he went onto the ark, and then you get the dietary law in Leviticus, you don't think that the Lord gave him the exact same? He had to have known the exact same things that basically that was given to Moses when it came to the dietary law. He had to have. You think that the Lord gave him clean things to eat, clean animals to take on the boat to eat while they were on there, and then all of a sudden they get off, and then it's just like, oh, well, you know what? You know, y'all can just go ahead and eat the rest of that shit. Go ahead, you know, you can eat alligators, crocodile, whatever was on the boat. You can eat all of it now. That's retarded, bro. Anyway, let's see what it says here. So they have every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you. Even as the green herb have I given you all things. And the Amplified, it says, every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. So that would mean that if they were going by this concept, then a person is moving. Can you eat a person? You know? Come on, bro. It says, every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. I give you everything as I gave you the green plants and vegetables. Well, there were, I know for a fact, you know, that's me speaking as a man, but we know that scripturally and precept wise, he would not have been eating, you know, just any fucking animal that was on the boat, man. If it was all animals and all in tubes, basically, I know he wasn't busting down no goddamn giraffe, bro. I don't think he was eating just let's throw a giraffe leg on. You know, you got a lot of these nations, they eat shit like that. I highly doubt if that's what he was eating, man. And then, you know, too, with a lot of Israelite customs, you know what I'm saying? Jake didn't really eat a whole lot of meat like that. You know what I'm saying? They ate meat, but it wasn't, you know, like how, you know, a nigga gotta have a piece of meat with every goddamn meal they have these days. They ate a lot of fish. You had all those, you know, you know, fruits and vegetables was fruits and vegetables back then. It wasn't none of this GMO shit we eat now. And then you know that he had to let the animals reproduce. The animals was reproducing. You know, be fruitful and multiply. So you know he had a stock. It was plenty of clean animals for him to eat. there wouldn't have been no reason for him to be like, oh, you know what, I got a taste for some pig feet today. Get the fuck out of here, man. But that's that mindset of these Christian Edomites, man. But I'm gonna end out there. I pray that the lesson was edifying. This is just retarded as hell. But this right here, but this, I know I kind of went another way with the lesson, but this is ridiculous, man. And we're gonna have to really kick these people's asses, man. We're going to kick these people's asses, bro. Dog meat soup. And they don't see anything wrong with it, you know what I'm saying? But they're going to live by those laws, statutes, and commandments, man. They're going to live by our rules and regulations, earthly. It's not going to be no separation in earth. You go to this continent and you can eat this. You go to this continent and they got these rules. You can go to this continent and they got these laws. You go to this continent. No, it's going to work worldwide. It's going to be Israelite rule. It's going to be Israelite rule worldwide, globally. Everywhere that there are people, they're going to know and about us and the way that we live and the rules that we have set in place, by the spirit and power of Yahweh, by H.I.M, they're going to live by that. They're not going to have welcome to Taiwan. Would you like to try our bat soup delicacy? Get the hell out of here. No, ain't going to be none of that. Not going to be eating no motherfucking bat. Damn, man, did they leave this baby out here by himself? Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway. I'm out there, man. You see what it is. These heathen, they got to go. They need their asses whipped. And we gonna do just that for them. You ain't going to be able to have no goddamn dog meat suit in our kingdom, man. So with that, shalom.